left that show, I think I needed however many years of therapy I had before the show. I needed double that amount to like get back to where I was. It was bad.
Only imagine. Was there a part of you that was like secretly hoping that they would like, were you like, I'm done, like I'm ready to?
Oh, every single time you see me crying, it's most likely either, well, one, it might be because I had PMS, but you know, just the PMDD was real. Nobody really knew what that was back then. It was like a huge thing. So I would get it real bad, but every single time you'd see me crying, it was usually because I was trying to get off the show.
You make a good bit of content. I was like going through some of it today, and I was checking out some of your videos to just kind of see like what you've been up to.
Yeah, it's been, I mean, I haven't, you know, when you just kind of get in like the zone of not wanting to do anything.
Yeah, I do.
That's where I am now. So if you notice, there's like a lapse. There's like all of this stuff like, let's talk about Persephone. Let's talk about this goddess. Let's talk about this writer.
Yeah.
And then for like 6 months, it's like nothing. If you noticed, I don't know.
So kind of. I kind of noticed. So like, I noticed that there's like content for like different like times, and I noticed like around Halloween, I'd say it was like pretty heavy in like content. I saw like a few videos there, which I figured is probably pretty on brand for what you're doing right now.
Yeah, that makes sense. I also, I'm also a professor, and I teach 6 classes.
Shut up.
Currently teaching 6 classes. So it's really like I wake up, I work, I teach night class, I walk my dog, eat. Like that's my schedule.
That's wild. Are they all virtual?
No, one is virtual. One is through California College of ASU. That's ending next week though.
Okay.
But that's the only virtual one, but it's a 3-hour class.
Holy shit.
Yeah. But we meet once a week for 3 hours, and I love it because it's mythology and symbolism, and I can just talk about mythology forever. But yeah, the other classes aren't virtual. I do have to drive onto campus, which isn't that bad.
Yeah, I'm sure it's nice to mix it up a little bit. Like, I feel like it's probably nice to have some virtual, but then like also being in person and teaching in person is probably nice too.
Yeah, I love face-to-face is the way to go.
Yeah. I feel like too, like I've done presentations before virtually, and I feel like it's hard to get the feedback because like it's almost like you're talking into like the universe, and you're like, what are people listening? Are they
taking a public speaking course during like COVID, or a virtual public speaking course is just, I don't think it does what it's supposed to do.
No.
Yeah.
No, definitely not. Do you do a lot of podcasts?
I have done my fair share.
Okay.
But not a lot, no.
I was trying to look and see, and I saw that you had mentioned one that you were in a few months ago, where you were, I think you were doing something on Patreon for like tarot readings and different things. I'm so sorry. I can't think of what the
coffee. I was on Coffee and Cauldrons, maybe. Is that the one?
I think so. That sounds right.
And then, there's a few. If you go to my website, there's like a list of the ones that I've been a guest on.
I love that.
I think I was on like the Surreality Pod. There's like just Out There Talk. There's like a few.
So when you're picking a podcast, because I mean, I'm very appreciative that you're giving me your time right now, and we're just gonna get into it, and I'll just film an intro later. It's fine, because I feel like we're on a roll here. But do you get a mix of requests? Like, do you get a mix of requests for what you're teaching and, you know, mythology? And I saw there's some witchcraft happening, which is very, very cool. And you're in Salem.
Yeah, so there's definitely a mix. There's like the Rock of Love fans or people that are interested. And then there's also the occult magic world that are interested in having me as a guest. And then there's the ones that are combined. Like there's like the Rock of Love, like older fans that saw the show when they were younger, and now they're into like magic and the occult, and they're like, "Oh, Sammie, come on the show!" Yeah. So there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's like the usual case. But sometimes I'll just get like a strictly Rock of Love interest, like podcast interest.
It's a fascinating thing. Like, I want to talk about the witchcraft and mythology first, then we can lead into Rock of Love.
Sure.
But
Yeah.
it's a very, I don't know, like it's just such a wild thing to think about because like I remember watching it.
Wait, were you like 5?
No, so I was in my early teens, and
Okay.
what I will tell you is you were my favorite. I was
Oh, thank
obsessed.
you.
I was bummed when you got voted off, and it had been so long since I had watched it, and then when I started watching it again, I was like, oh my gosh, like you kind of remember everything, like once you start watching it again. Because I watched
Wait, so
a few
you
episodes.
just recently rewatched like the whole season?
I didn't watch the whole season. I did kind of skip through, but I watched the first episode in its entirety, and I was like,
Okay. Yeah.
I need a break.
Oh my gosh, there's so much going on. I don't even think I'm in the first episode very much at all.
No.
But when I am, it's like me from a distance, like giving a dirty look or like giving like a judgy, like what am I doing here kind of look.
Right.
From like far away.
Right. Like, what the hell? Which honestly makes sense. Granted.
Yeah. Yeah.
But okay, so we'll get to that in a second because I am very excited to ask you 35,000 questions about Rock of Love.
Okay.
But I do want to talk about, so what took you to Salem? Because I think I read, were you in a band in Vegas?
No, you might be thinking about Lacey. Lacey might have.
Okay, Google.
Lacey's like the band. She was in a band.
Okay, maybe Google misread me because I thought that was weird. I was like, I didn't think she was in a band.
I mean, I had a band when I was like 13 and 14 and 15 and 16, I think. Like different bands. Like I had a punk rock band.
I love that.
We'd play shows. I had like a little mohawk, but that was
Stop.
like I was 15. That wouldn't be on the internet. I
Okay,
don't
okay.
think. Yeah.
Then that might have been a mislead on Google's part.
Yeah. We played high school battle of the bands, you know.
Very Freaky Friday. I love it.
Yeah.
So, have you always lived on the East Coast? Have you like? Okay.
Well, so I grew up in Westchester. I grew up in Scarsdale, New York, and then I went to boarding school when I was 17, and the boarding school was next to Salem. So I think that was one of the main reasons I even agreed to go to boarding school because
Yeah.
Salem has always been like in my radar. I started going to Salem since I was 8 years old. I think I went with my family on a family trip, and I got this like little witch on a broomstick, and I would tell people it was like my magic amulet. I'd tell my friends, oh, I got this in Salem. It was from a witch, you know, I'm a witch. And I would just like make up these stories. But then at 12, 13, 14, 15, every October, I would go back to Salem, and it became like this ritual that I would do with my friends and, you know, whoever brought me, whether a family friend or a parent.
Yeah.
And I just felt so connected to the space and the history. Yeah, and I was just fascinated with it. And this was in 1992. I started like really coming as like a getting into witchcraft and being a practicing witch. So it was the best place to get incense. It was the best place to get herbs and candles for me as a supply because there weren't many occult shops where I grew up.
I feel like you probably take advantage of it while you're there, right? Stock up.
Oh yeah, for sure, yeah. And then I was in California. I just moved around so much.
Yeah.
I was in California, and I had been there for 9 years, and I just was like, what am I doing?
Where did you live in
where's my-
California? Sorry.
Franklin. I lived in a lot of places. Virgil Village, Franklin Village,
Okay.
Sherman Oaks, Eagle Rock, and lastly, Tarzana. So like I kept going like more and more into the valley like every year.
Yeah.
Like more affordable places, I guess. And then finally I was just like, I think I just need to like completely pick up and leave. And I was looking for work as an adjunct instructor. And I was like, you know what? I want to move to Salem. And I did like a whole manifestation spell and whole thing one night. And then the next day I got an email from one of the schools here, and they were like, here's a list of classes. What classes would you like to teach? And I was like, wow, how cool.
That's incredible.
And that's how I ended up moving here. And it wasn't just, oh, Salem, I feel connected. I do feel connected, but my dad and my family are all on the East Coast.
Yeah.
And I was on the West Coast. And so, the plane ride, it was like, sometimes it's a 6-hour plane ride and I hate flying. So I figured I'd just pick up, what am I doing in LA? What am I doing in California? And just move. And I did. And then I got here and made so many friends. And there's just this amazing supportive community of witches. And it's just so cool. And I love my job. I love teaching. I love it all. It's all really come together.
Yeah, it sounds like you were meant to be there. Like your manifestation spell really, put it out into the universe for you for it to happen.
Yeah, it's so cool because, a lot of people are so skeptical of that kind of, manifestation and willing and calling in the elements. And, it's really nice to have like sort of like a validation or like just what's the word I'm looking for? Reassurance, that I'm on the right path.
I feel like the older I've gotten to, I've realized how like important it is for your mindset and like how like having a positive mindset and like if you truly want something, like really like manifesting it, doing a spell, putting it into the universe, like those things I think do pay off when you really are serious about them.
Yeah, I really do believe in the power of the mind. When you constantly think negative thoughts, when you're constantly talking bad about people, about yourself, it just brings up such a negative energy where you just become stuck. Lately, I've been studying the Kabbalah, and it's really all about, positive thinking and not gossiping and not talking bad about people and just always thinking in like the right mindset. And it's just a really positive way to view life, and it really does switch, like it turns off a switch of just always like having these negative thoughts roll through your head and roll through your mind, and kind of just creates like this new way of thinking.
Yeah. And I'm sure too, like it probably pulled up things that you like didn't even like consciously realize that maybe you were thinking about, or patterns, like that's incredible that, you're looking into that. And I know you spoke on mythology and how interested you are in that, which that's something I don't know a lot about, but what sparked that interest for you?
Okay, so I mean, I've always been into mythology ever since I was a kid. I loved just learning about like Celtic mythology, Norse mythology, Greek mythology. When you're little and your parents buy you like that Bullfinch's mythology book and read you the stories of like Pegasus and Perseus and Medusa, and I think it just kind of sticks.
Yeah.
And so that was one thing that really stuck with me. So as I got older, I really delve into fantasy. That was one of my loves in terms of like reading and movies. Like I really went like the whole 80s fantasy way, like The Labyrinth and like The Neverending Story.
Solid.
And just like the quest of like the knights, or the Arthurian legends, and I actually got led to to Morgan Le Fay, who was King Arthur's stepsister. And I read a book called The Witch of the North. And I think I might have been 12 when I read this book, but I felt like it changed me. And I wanted to be Morgan Le Fay. Like I wanted to be this like witch that was scorned and wanted revenge and went to the nunnery and learned magic and had to, was into Avalon and just all the magic there. And that's what really led me down into like the witchcraft path of studying, magic and witchcraft and paganism. And, I also grew up in an area where all my friends were like metalheads, and they would always play Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh, yes.
So they were like.
Are you a player?
So I think I played with them like once or twice, and I
Okay.
created a character. And it's so funny because like there'd be like these scary dark metalheads who were so sweet, right? And they'd
Always.
go into the woods and they'd like conjure demons. And me, I was like, well, I want to be protected. I don't want to, meet a demon. How weird. So I would do protection magic. And so it's almost like the fantasy of Dungeons and Dragons became reality,
Yeah.
And I was just learning like about the elements and how to protect myself and herbs and amulets and talismans and, reading books. And I just kept becoming more knowledgeable about it all and dedicated myself to the goddess as a solitary practitioner when I was 15.
Okay.
And then I never looked back. Yes, I have learned and studied other belief systems, but no matter what, I always come back to paganism, to this like nature-based religion with different pantheons. So I know you asked me how I got into mythology, and I just started talking about witchcraft and
I love
magic,
it.
but they go together really well.
Right.
Mythology is experienced across cultures. Every culture has their own mythology. If you think about it, their own creation myths. There's the Yoruban creation myth with like Obatala and Olurun, and then you go to Genesis and the Bible, and that's their creation myth. And then Mesoamerica, Mesopotamia. I mean, there's just so many different myths across cultures, and they all have things to do with each other. They all
wild.
connect in some way. And you have to think that the collective unconscious has something to do with all of this. Like,
Right.
how is there a flood over here in Japan, and then there was a flood, in Mesoamerica, right? So it's almost like the same exact events happen throughout cultures, and whether or not the people who we didn't have science yet, or maybe we did, wink wink, aliens, but people of that time would associate like the sun as a god, the moon as a god or a goddess, thunder, lightning, all from the gods. So it was the way to make sense out of things. And I just think that, I don't know, it's just that childlike faith that I've always had, I think, and
Yeah.
it reminds me of just believing in the unseen.
I think it's very important that you do, and I feel like you're so open to everything, and it just sounds like you have a very open mind about things, and you're just curious about it, and like you're making like parallels and comparisons, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like I didn't even think about that, and like how all these things are related, but it totally makes sense. I remember reading a book about like how the moon was used like for everything, like for telling when farmers would plant certain crops and the seasons and how the energies.
The moon is so intense, and it's linked up with our cycles, with the feminine cycle, and it also controls the tides. Like it's so insane. Like I think there is this amazing divine energy from the moon, and there's a rumor, and it's been debunked, that, we're made of a certain percentage of water.
Yeah.
And if the moon controls the tides, then why wouldn't the moon affect us on the night of a full moon or the night of a new moon? Like, yes, that has been debunked, but it's still interesting to think about, you know?
I still want to believe that it's partially true.
Me too.
I want to believe it, because I feel like
Same.
when like they're like, oh, Mercury's in retrograde, or like when the moon's full, it's like I notice, like it's fucking weird here.
Oh yeah, yeah, 100%. I have so many astrology friends here in Salem that I know more about astrology than I've ever known in my entire life, just from living here for the past 3 years. So if you want me to read your chart or read your transits, just hit me up.
Girl, yes, absolutely. I want to ask you, so I've had a few mediums on the podcast. I'm not sure if you've seen Tawny Lewis has been on my podcast.
I think I'm familiar. Was one Tawny?
Tawny Lewis, yeah.
Yes, we follow each other. She's
Okay, so
cool.
you've not met yet. I wasn't sure if you guys knew each other or not.
So we actually, who introduced us? Was it? It was someone from Rock of Love. Oh,
Stop.
who was it? Yeah, that's how we were introduced. And
This is
and then
crazy.
she had come to Salem, and I recommended a few places for her to shop at. But I'm drawing a blank right now, so I'm sorry, whoever that was.
Oh my gosh, listen.
Yeah.
My dream girly
Oh,
hangout.
it might have been Jessica. It might have been
Really?
Jessica. Yeah.
Stop.
It might have been Jess. Yes, or Christia. Has introduced me to some people in Salem too. So I think it was Jess. So thank you, Jess.
Yes, thank you, Jess. But like my dream girly hangout would be if I was ever in Salem and you guys were in the same place at the same time. Like all of us having coffee would be the moment.
Yes.
The
Yeah,
moment.
yeah.
Have you been to Lilydale?
No, I think my mom has. though.
Really?
Yeah, I think my mom has. Could you remind me where that is again?
So believe it's in upstate New York, and
Okay.
it's
Okay.
the town of mediums.
Okay, so my mom did not go to Lilydale. Instead, there's a place in Florida that's very similar to Lilydale.
Interesting.
That she's gone to. But I do have a friend, Devin, who has been to Lilydale and did receive a reading and said it was okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to check it
Have
out.
you been?
I know. I haven't been. And Tawny is going to
Yeah.
be there next year. And she was like, you should come. And I'm like, girl, I'm there.
Yes.
So all I'm saying is-
I've seen like documentaries or videos on it. It looks really cool.
I think it'd be awesome to check out. And she's like, you can just like see, like everything just kind of looks haunted and it's very historic and the vibes are just very witchy. And I'm like, count me in.
That's cool. That's cool. Yeah.
It looks so awesome. Is your mom into witchcraft?
So my mom is she's very intuitive, let's
Okay.
say. She's a Scorpio. She's very intuitive, powerful. But no, she's never had any like visions or anything like that. My dad does see spirits and
Really?
does have interactions with spirits. He has a lot of dreams. But my mom will get like a feeling and she'll just share it with me. You know, it's
Okay.
more about intuition with her.
That's incredible. Your parents sound amazing.
You know, they're something.
Aren't
I
all
love them.
parents? They're all something. So, are you still friends with a lot of girls that were on Rock of Love? Are you in touch with a lot of them?
Yeah, so I still talk to some of them like through Instagram mostly.
Okay.
But I feel like some of them will pass through Salem and then, we'll meet up. Like Christia was here last October and she came to the shop that I was reading tarot at, and then we went to the Salem Night Fair together,
Cool.
or we met up there. Yeah, it was really nice to see her. Sometimes I'll talk to Lacey. We would chat, and then I did her. Remember there was like a Rock of Love reunion, like a few years ago. I think when I was still living in LA. I flew out for that, and I got to see a lot of the girls, and that was really cool.
That's awesome.
Ashley and Farah were there, and just like a number of other people that I hadn't met yet, but I've always wanted to.
Yeah. Does it feel like a sisterhood? Like, does it feel like you're all connected in like this crazy way?
Yeah, it does, I never really thought about it like that, but we all did go through this weird, like kind of traumatic situation together, and yeah, it does feel like a sisterhood almost.
Yeah.
Good, that's like a good, nice way to describe it.
Well, yeah, because like you said, like it would be a very similar experience that you've all had. And like, I just think it was a very crazy time in reality television. Like the things that
Yeah.
were on TV back, like at that time, wild. Would never be on TV now. Like craziness.
No.
But in a
I
good way.
know. It's just, it was a lot. I actually couldn't believe some of the things that I had experienced on that show. It's just, when you look back at it now and you watch it now, you're like, how is that allowed? How is that allowed? Like, how was that? Like, who okayed that? You know?
So one of the first things that stood out to me when I started rewatching it was when it was the first day and everybody's standing outside and they only let so many girls in. And then John, like, it seemed like just simply from looking. And John was just like, you guys don't make the cut. You gotta go.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that is wild.
Yeah, no, that really happened. It wasn't staged.
It wasn't?
It was a real thing. No. The girls that were getting picked, I think they thought something good was going to come of it.
Yeah.
Like, I think they're like, oh, I'm picked for something special. And then, yeah, once they like were told to come down off of the little podium thing we were all standing on, they just disappeared. And I think they announced what happened.
Okay.
But, right? Did they? It's so foggy, but I think they were like, you guys are going home or something. Or come, like, pack your bags, or you're not even coming into the house or something.
I think their suitcases were literally at the end of the driveway, and he's like, you gotta go. And I'm just like, oh my God. Like,
yeah.
Just not even an interaction. Like, just, you're out. Bye. See ya.
I know.
Like, that traumatized me. And I was like, I wasn't even there.
Yeah, it was mean. It was really mean. Those poor girls. But however, I do remember it was the producer or someone I talked to before the show aired or before we even went there. They were like, well, there's your first audition, which we interview you.
Okay.
I was living in Chicago at the time.
Okay.
We interview you. I went to a hotel. There was all this paperwork, and I just sat with someone and just talked to them for about an hour, and I was on camera with them. And they're like, and then there's a second audition. And the second audition happens when you get there, like when you get to the house. Yeah. So I was like, okay. And the whole time I'm like, well, where's the second audition? We're all, I don't understand. And then when we were all up there and then those girls were told to go home, I was like, wow, that's really messed up.
That's crazy.
That was their audition. I guess Bret was like, which ones do I want to get rid of?
Yeah, was he in a bush, like in the corner? And he's like, no.
No, I'm sure they had like the photograph. I'm sure he had everyone's photograph. But like, still, that's so messed up, right? Like those poor ladies. And then the one, Tiffany, was like, "You're not sending me home. F that."
Girl,
and
Tiffany.
Is Tiffany? She like banged on the door.
Was she as wild as she was on the show? Like,
well, I think she was just heavily intoxicated, honestly. Okay. I mean, who wasn't, I mean, I don't think I wasn't a drinker.
Okay.
And I think I was smart enough to not drink on live or on television. I was working in the bar industry. I was a bartender. I'm like, yeah, there's no way I'm getting hammered on this show.
That's so smart.
The only time I did drink was when I was so stressed out. It was after the interrogation.
Okay.
And I was just so upset. I was in tears, and I'm like, I just need a beer. I just like drank a beer, and I was like, okay, cool. And I was like relaxed a little bit.
The thing I loved about you, like on the show, though, is like you were so fun and you were so sweet, and you seemed very genuine on the show, but you weren't like crazy. Like, and I don't want to say crazy. Crazy is not the right word, but like just very like performative for the camera. Like you could just tell like the personalities that were really trying to up it a level to like get the time.
Yeah, I think I was like, I'm just gonna be myself.
Yeah,
and see if I have a connection, and maybe we have some things in common, and that's cool. We'll see. It wasn't like I'm gonna do this huge thing for attention, or I'm going to be physical with him, or I'm gonna try to seduce him. It was more like, if we get along, then we get along, and if we have things in common, then that's cool.
So did you know you were going to be on the show with Bret? Like, did they tell you that's what the show was about?
Well, yes.
Okay.
Kind of. They asked who I wanted. Like, so auditioning, I didn't know. when I went to the audition.
Okay. So
They
what
were
did they
just
tell
like,
you?
A rock star, just some rock star person. Yeah. And I was like, oh my God, can it be Lemmy from Motorhead? Can it be
Lemmy.
Glenn Danzig? I was like, what about Glenn Danzig or like Tom Araya? I don't know. I listed like a bunch of people that I wanted it to be at the
Yeah.
time. And then at the end of the interview, I think she slipped or something happened where like it was revealed somehow.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay. Like I was like, I listened to Poison when I was a kid. Sure.
Yeah,
You know,
why
I
not?
wasn't like, I danced to like some songs at bar mitzvahs, but like that, you know, but I wasn't like a huge Poison fan. I was more of like a Skid Row fan, I think.
That's solid. That's
but
very solid.
yeah, but anyway, yeah, so it was interesting and yeah, that was it. I was just like, well, I was in grad school at the time
Okay.
and I was deciding whether I wanted to go, like what direction I wanted to go in. Did I want to start teaching? Did I want to continue writing? Or did I want to go into theater? Did I want to go into acting?
Ooh.
And I was like, for some reason, I was like, maybe this will open up doors for me.
Yeah.
I don't know why I even went there. Luckily, while I was in the thing, I realized this is definitely not what I want to do at all. And granted, it's so different than actual, you know, like TV, like theatrical work.
Right.
It's completely the opposite. But it made me realize that I actually want to live a nice, quiet, quaint life teaching and writing, you know? And if I might join community theater if I wanted to get a kick, you know, but
Yeah.
that's about it. That's about it. But at the time I was kind of like, which road do I want to go down? Like, do I want to go into acting and TV, or do I want to, you know, be an English teacher?
I mean, I think going on a reality dating show is the best way to figure that out. Like, you know, you just do it and just see how it goes.
Oh my God. Yeah, I definitely figured it out real quick. I was like, when I left that show, I think I needed however many years of therapy I had before the show. I needed double that amount to like get back to where I was. Yeah, it was bad.
Only imagine. Was
Yeah.
there a part of you that was like secretly hoping that they would like, were you like, I'm done, like I'm ready to?
Oh, every single time you see me crying, it's most likely either, well, one, it might be because I had PMS, but you know, just the PMDD was real. Nobody really knew what that was back then. It
Yeah.
was like a huge thing. So I would get it real bad, but every single time you'd see me crying, it was usually because I was trying to get off the show. Like I wanted to go home. I had like my little dog waiting for me. I had all my books and my schoolwork, and what they don't tell you is that they take away everything when you get there. So all of my books, like my literature books, they took away. They only let me keep a notebook, and that's what I could like write my poems in or write, you know, my thoughts down in, which actually like made it onto the show in a funny way. But yeah, I missed my life. I missed learning. So it wasn't fun for me being on that show at all.
Well, yeah. Like
There were fun times.
Yeah.
But all in all, it wasn't a good experience for me.
Well, I think it's hard if like you don't know that like you're going to lose access to those things, and then you're just alone with like your thoughts, and like you're alone with what's happening in front of you, and it's just you're constantly surrounded. It's probably like a sleepover that you can never leave.
Yes. Yeah, we had bunk beds. It was a total pajama party.
Shut up. Oh my God. Did they let you leave? Or they like, did they let you to go to like a store or like do anything?
No,
Really?
they took away our phones. They took away everything, and when we wanted something, like if we wanted groceries or something, we'd have to write it down on a list, and then there would be someone that like went and got the groceries for us.
Oh my gosh. That would be.
The only time we left was when there was like a challenge or a date or something.
surprised
we
to
weren't allowed.
see one of you girls just like running away. Like,
I know.
I'm just going to go.
I know. Yeah, I mean, and then me asking for permission, like, can I leave yet? Like, is it my time to go yet? Like,
Yeah.
no, you have to stay. Just stay a little bit longer. We just need you. You're one of the, you're one of the girls. You have to stay. And I'm like, oh, okay, I'll stay a little bit longer. And then eventually I was just like, get me off this show now. And I kind of just like exploded, and I was like, I'm done. I'm done. And then you can see me like yelling at the cameraman, but I'm really yelling. I'm yelling at the cameraman, but they made it seem like I was yelling at Lacey.
Oh.
They made it seem like I was like telling Lacey to F off. Sorry, my dog's barking.
No, it's okay. We love doggies.
I'll say that.
We love doggies.
It was so one morning I went to go eat breakfast outside alone and like meditate. Like I just wanted to be alone.
Yeah.
And there was this cameraman, and he was just like in my face with the camera, like so close to me. And I kept saying, "Hey, so I'm eating my breakfast, and I would just love some peace and quiet. If you can leave me alone, that would be great." And he got closer. And
Stop.
I was like, no, seriously, like I would really love to be alone right now. Just want to eat my breakfast. I'm not doing anything cool. Like I'm
Right.
just sitting here looking at the view. And then he would just get closer. And he was antagonizing me. And he pushed my buttons, and I blew up. I was like, get the F away from me.
Yeah.
I was like screaming. I run into the kitchen. I like slam the door, like say a bunch of like curse words. And somehow, if you look at the way that this scene is edited, it looks like I'm saying all of these things to Lacey.
I'm going to go back and watch it.
Yeah, watch it back. And that's how they tried to make it look, that I was like screaming at her or one of the girls. And it was really the camera person that was just antagonizing me.
I just can't believe, well, especially like like there's nothing that you're doing that's TV worthy, but obviously he pushed you enough to make it TV worthy.
I mean, that was their job, right?
Yeah.
That's what they were getting paid for.
Did they have producers poking at you? I've always wanted to ask this, like kind of moving the storyline.
We would get pulled out constantly, and we would be one of the producers would be like, okay, now you're going to go do this, and now you're going to say this to this person, and now you're going to sit over here and you're going to play a game, and you're going to ask the girls, which one of you should go home and why. You're going to go around in a circle. Like they would create scenarios where there would have to be drama.
Which, I mean, I guess makes sense because you guys can't all be hanging out till like something happens. But
right.
But still, like that just had to have been so stressful, and especially like what you were going through with like PMDD and just like experiencing all that and being in a house full of women for that long.
Yeah.
Sounds like my personal hell, to be honest. And what's funny is, like, now as an adult, I say that, but when I was watching the show, I was like, I want to be one of those girls. I was like, I want to be that.
What? Wow.
Which is,
I'll trade with you. We can go back. I think I might have had a leg up, though, because if you think about it, I was in boarding school. So I was in a facility with all girls in a building. I mean, it was a co-ed boarding school, but my dorm had all women or girls at the time. I also had gone to sleepaway camp when I was a kid. So I knew what the bunk bed situation and sharing the bathroom, and I knew what all that was going to be like. But yeah, it was definitely like a sleepaway camp with a lot of booze. You know what I mean? Yeah. It was a lot. It was a lot. I did enjoy some of the girls. They were really sweet. I just remember liking some of them and thinking they were just so intelligent and beautiful. Yeah. Faith, Magdalena, Jess, Erin. I mean, there's just so many women on that show that I was so fond of and created this beautiful friendship with. And it wasn't really shown on the show, obviously, because, the main character is Bret and yada, yada, yada. But some of those women, man, I'll never forget. Like, they're just so inspiring to me.
I think that's probably the most rewarding thing, right? From this whole
Yeah.
experience. It's like the sorority of like the girls you were able to meet and, you know, have
Yeah.
these like long lasting relationships with.
Yeah, I always wonder like what some of them are up to now and like how can I find this person? So if anyone's listening, I'd love to
Yes.
know where Faith is and where's Magdalena and all of that.
I would love to know. We're going to put a search out. We need to know where these
Yes.
girls are. What are they doing right now?
Yeah.
If I can
Yeah.
host my own type of reunion, that'd be super fun. I just want to see like where everybody is. Like, are we good? Like, are we good
Yeah.
after this
Yeah.
experience?
Yeah, and like Dallas, I think I followed Dallas on Instagram.
Oh, yes,
Loved her.
Dallas.
Yeah, I really loved her. They didn't show enough of her personality on the show. They just kind of showed like the Lacey's enemy side,
Yeah.
you know? And then Lacey too, that was all a show. She really isn't that terrible. She's actually really sweet and caring and I don't know, she's kind of like Mama Bear, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think a lot of the girls were there to play certain roles, you know, which they did very well. So,
They really did. I mean, because I remember Rock of Love and was it Flavor of Love? I think they came out around the same time and they were just huge.
oh
And, like-
God. So, yeah, it was Flavor of Love and then I Love New York.
I forgot about that.
Oh
my
I loved
God.
that show. Yeah. I loved that show. I loved her.
She's incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah, great TV. Great
Oh.
TV.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. Like,
And then, yeah, go on. Sorry for interrupting.
no, go ahead.
And then I think they were like, well, we have this Flavor of Love and we have like all these shows. What can we do next? Let's bring a bunch of like trashy strippers and like alcoholic women and like 80s rockers to like fall in love with this washed up rock star and see what happens and like put a bunch of alcohol and a stripper pole and some musical instruments and just see what happens and
And what
just
could
throw
go
it all
wrong?
together.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's great. It's perfection.
Yeah, I'm really glad that no one got seriously hurt, honestly.
Were there moments that you were like worried?
Yeah, the Dallas and Rodeo and Lacey situation when Lacey was like taunting Dallas and she was like trying to get Dallas to hit her and then Rodeo came and like tackled Lacey. I'm really surprised that no one got hurt from that.
Yeah.
That was I remember being there and I remember trying to break it up and trying to like get in between them just and be like stop fighting, this is so stupid, like who cares, you know?
Right.
And then they got away from me and then they were on the staircase and then someone got like pushed or fell and then it just started getting physical and that's when Rodeo came in and was like and like threw Lacey down and like I don't know exactly what she did. She like put her in a chokehold or something. It was insane. And
Listen.
then it yeah.
With the arms that Rodeo had, I would not like. I'd be like, no,
Yeah.
that's scary.
Yeah, but she was also really sweet too and
Yeah.
really loving and really caring and you know.
It's just you don't get to see those parts, of course, because they don't. You know, that's not going to make for good TV. But I feel like I have to ask you this question, and if you don't want to answer it, you can just tell me no.
Sure.
Did you kiss Bret?
Yeah, I think you see it.
Was he? Oh, I guess yeah. Was he a good kisser?
Yeah, he was a really good kisser.
Okay.
I do remember that. I remember him being a really good kisser and being like, okay, I guess I could do this for a little while, see what happens. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's not that bad. All right, I guess I'll wait around a little bit, see what happens. So it wasn't that bad. He was really good. He was a good kisser. It was just he was a bad conversationalist, but
Okay.
kissing him was fine. Yeah.
Was it hard for you to like connect with him then on a level that wasn't kissing?
I tried so hard and like you can see me trying. Like I'll be like, so what what are you into? What music are you into? Or what literature, what writers, like what do you do for fun? Do you know, and then you can and like his eyes would always go to like your chest area.
Uh-huh.
And he would never look you in the eye. Like it would never be an eye contact situation with him. So I'd always find myself being like, hey, my eyes are up here. Like, let's connect. It was just really hard to connect with him. So I would try to have like deep, meaningful conversations with him. But they just never really turned into much. There wasn't a lot there, I guess you could say. He was very sweet. He was a very sweet, nice, kind man. Besides, like, you know, his like toxic masculinity, need to, you know, be aroused constantly. Like, besides all of that, like misogyny kind of stuff. But, like, if you put that on the shelf, which I don't know why you would want to, he was a nice, and he's a nice guy underneath that.
Okay. I mean, that's good. That's nice to hear. You know, I kind of wondered what he was like.
Yeah. I mean, maybe that was for show. I don't know.
Did you talk with him after the show ever?
No. Not at all.
Really?
Nothing. No, there's nothing, like no connection, no exchange of phone numbers, nothing.
That's kind of wild.
It was just, I mean, it makes sense. Honestly, the fact that it was just for TV, he wasn't really looking for love. It was just like, you know, a gimmick, like Flavor of Love or whatnot. So it was very like campy, gimmicky TV show, just, you know, for views or whatnot, or for the audience. I know that he did have like an on and off again wife / baby's mama.
Oh, interesting.
So. And I've said this before on a couple of shows where he would leave out the back door of the mansion. So he wouldn't always sleep at the mansion. There was like a little escape way where he could actually go home.
How nice.
And he can be, and he can like be with his daughters, and he could be with his wife, baby's mama. I don't know, you know, girlfriend. And, so it was very like I figured that out real quick. Like, why is there a back door? Like, where do you go at night? Like, do you sleep here at night? You know?
Right.
And it's pretty clear because if you notice after the 3 seasons or 3 or 4 seasons, 3 seasons, there's Rock of Love 1, 2, and then isn't there like Bus?
I think so. Yeah. I think there was 3.
There was one after that, and it's like his life. It's him. He marries the woman, and they live with the kids. So it's like, well, you should have just done that from the beginning.
Literally.
You know? Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
So enough about Bret Michaels. What was life like for you once the show was over? Like, what was dating like after the show? What is the aftermath of Rock of Love?
So yeah, it was crazy. It was really hard for me. It was definitely being like filmed in public or people taking pictures of me while I'm at a restaurant or, you know, in line for something. It was very bizarre. A lot of people wanted pictures or autographs. And I was like, what? Like, how? You know, like I didn't get it. A lot of people would come up and be like, I love you. You know, I love you. You are my favorite. And I'd be like, you love me, but you don't even know me, you know? And it was just strange for me to hear something like that. I get it now. I get it just because I think that I was able to reach to a specific target audience or viewers that could relate to some of the issues that I was experiencing,
right?
Or that I had experienced. So it makes sense in the long run. But at the time, I was just like, what? Like, why do you want my picture? It just didn't register, you know, the amount of attention I was getting. And it was really hard. And what really got to me was the always thinking someone was watching me or always thinking someone was filming me or there was a mic somewhere. That was scary because we were constantly mic'd up. There was night vision in every room. When you went to the bathroom, you had your mic on. It was very like Big Brother. It was very... they watch everything you do and everything that you say. So I think coming out of that back into the real world was like who's listening, who's really there for me, who's, you know, just being my friend, because like it was a lot of trust stuff that kind of came up.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
I turned into like a mean girl for a second. I remember I was walking with one of my friends who I loved. I still love her. We're still very close. And I think like she splashed me with like a puddle, and I like yelled at her. I said like something mean to her, and I was like, wait, I'm sorry. Like, that's not me.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. I was so on edge, and I was so like in defense mode. I think I even took Jeet Kune Do. I signed up for a Jeet Kune Do class, and I
Stop, are you
started
really?
taking MMA classes in Chicago once the show was over, because I was like, how do I get this rage out? Like, how do I get this anger out?
Yeah.
And it helped me a lot. It helped me like feel just better about everything, and get a lot of that out that I was like holding in during the experience. Dating, the good thing I will say that
Okay.
came out of the show, I was thinking, I reconnected with an ex-boyfriend who I had been madly in love with, and it didn't work out for whatever reason. And he had seen me on the show, and it was because of that we reconnected.
Oh, I love
And
that.
we started DJing together, and we would DJ like metal nights, and we went on tour together, like DJing, just like, metal music and whatnot.
Two metalheads.
All different types.
I love
And yeah, it was really nice. And we had a really beautiful relationship. We were together for 5 years. We lived together. And so, yeah, I guess if that definitely came out of it. And it was just a beautiful experience to be back with that person and create and build something solid, after that experience.
I'm really
So that
happy.
was really nice.
I'm really happy for you that you had that experience after.
Yeah, and we're still friends. Like, I love him. I'll always love him, So yeah, there you go.
Incredible. I'm really happy to hear that, because just from everything you had went through, and I think some of the struggles and like the fun times and the bad times, like I think it's just really nice to hear that you were able to reconnect with somebody you may not have otherwise.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah. There are a lot of like exes too coming out of the woodwork, and just like sleazy people that were coming in, and yeah, I you can kind of like figure out who they were real quick. So
A random second cousin out of nowhere that's like, hey, Sam.
yeah, remember me? Yeah. You're like, or like people from elementary school. So weird, because like you usually only think that happens to like celebrities, and I was literally on the show for like less than a month, and it was just had turned into this huge phenomenon, like this cultural, like weird niche, like situation that became really popular.
It's a moment in pop culture history for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
It truly is.
Sure.
And
Yeah.
I was so excited when you said yes to being on here. So I just want to say thank you so much for your time. You have been
welcome.
a delight. Like, you were so sweet. I'm so happy that I could sit and learn more about you and just your experience. And if I'm ever in Salem, I would love,
Oh my gosh.
love to get coffee with you.
If you're ever in Salem, let's do tarot cards. I'll show you around. I'll give you the ghost tour. I'll give you the tour of everything. I'll show you where the memorial are for the witches. Whatever you want. We'll hook up. We'll do the thing.
Okay. I am so excited about that. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for taking your time with me. And can you just shout out your socials so that everyone knows where to find you?
Yeah. So if you want to follow me on Instagram, it's Sammie the Gorgon, Sammie the Gorgon, who was Medusa's sisters, by the way.
Love it. On
Medusa
brand.
is a Gorgon. Nerd moment. And my business is Divine Discourse Learning. And if you want it, like to sign up for a tarot reading with me or take a class with me, it's divinediscourselearning.org, or you can get there through my Instagram, TikTok, all of that stuff, Divine Discourse Learning. So yeah, check it out.
Yes, check it out. She is doing incredible things. And I'm
Thank
just
you.
so happy for you. And thank you so much again. And we'll see you guys next week. That's all I can say. I'm just so happy. I'm so excited. I was so excited
You're
to talk about one of
sweet.
my favorite shows.
Thanks, Dani.
Thank you.